We're going to start with hips, knees, toes forward. You're going to go side to side. If this feels easy, you can get a band around your feet. If not, if you just want to make it just a little bit more effort, you can hold a weight in your hand. The main thing is you're keeping your shoulders, your hips, your knees, your toes forward. Don't turn them slightly out. Make sure they go nice and forward. We're trying to get a muscle that's in the back of your butt muscle, not the side of your hip and not the front of your hip. And it can't do that if the toes are turned out. If the toes are turned out, a different muscle is working. So we're just keeping our shoulders tucked down, our abs are tight, our pelvic floor is engaged, and our toes are forward, all while we have to keep breathing. Should start feeling it. Not too concerned how wide you go. I'm more concerned, can you keep the hip forward? You have 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna march those knees, march those knees. Nice tall chest, and we're keeping the knees out with the heels over. And what we're trying to do is we're working the hip flexor. You have a muscle that attaches to the top of the thigh bone in through your hip and attaches to your lower back. Keep creating this nice little link between your lower back and your legs, creating that stability. So when you hear people say they want more balance, this would be a muscle that they're working towards. And breathe. Shoulders are down, abs are tight. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, if you have shoulder problems, no weights. So we're going to do front arm raises, palms face each other, tucking shoulders back, tight abs, tight pelvic floor, soft knees. And we're going to bring our arms straight forward, the height of our shoulders, and then right back down again. Tuck shoulder blades going up, and then keep the shoulder blades down as you're coming down. So you want to not let the shoulder round forward with you. So you have to use that shoulder blade muscle to lock it down and hold the shoulder blade in place so the rotator cuff doesn't move with you. Tucking shoulders, nice tight abs, soft knees. And I'm only going as high as my rotator cuff. You don't have to go higher because we're just trying to train the front delt on your shoulder cuff to get strong while you're having your shoulder blade locked down and hold it in place. And this is a great activity for your shoulder blade to get. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll those shoulders back. And pause real quick. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Okie doke. So then we're going to go to, what are we doing next? Oh yeah, we're doing hamstring curls. So next, hold on. So next we're gonna do hamstring curls. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm turning to the side so you can see it. You can stay forward. You can hold on to something. You're gonna shift your weight to the left leg, nice tight abs. Kick back that right leg and keep the thighs together. And you're gonna lift the heel and bring it down. Lift the heel and bring it down. What you're trying not to do is to let this thigh lunge forward as you lift up. We don't want to do this movement pattern. We want to keep that thigh pulled back and lift and lower. This way we feel the full contraction of this back thigh. So we keep our abs tight, shoulders pulled back. And again, feel free to hold onto a chair. Right? So you don't have to practice balancing if you don't want to, but if you want to, feel free. It's gonna make your ankles work nice and hard. It's gonna make your quads work if you're not locking out your knees, making your left butt work too. So there's a benefit, either one. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring that down, march it out. And I'm gonna turn around, turn the other way so you can see my leg. But again, you don't have to. You can stay nice forward watching the video. I'm gonna shift my weight to my right leg, step back, kickstand with my left leg, thighs stay together, tight abs, tight butt. And I'm gonna lift my heel and tap. Lift my heel and tap, keeping my thigh nice and pulled back. That way I'm working just my hamstring. Nice tight abs. Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down, walk those out. Hopefully the backs of your legs are nice and sore there. Okay, this one you might need heavier weights if you've been doing it for a while. Otherwise, you don't have to. You can have your feet forward, knees forward, hips forward, tight abs, tight butt. You're gonna lift your heels up off the ground, hold, 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 and bring it down. Tight abs, tight butt. You're gonna lift your heels up off the ground, hold, 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 and bring it down. What we're trying to do is to just go straight up rather than straight forward. And we're trying to train our arches in our feet, how to control the movement of our body so that we just don't flop down. And then that means that the bottom of our feet are just getting a little bit stronger. And that's what we need, is strong feet. There's tendons and ligaments down there. We want those nice and strong so that they can control our ankles and assist with our hip and where our knees go. Because knees don't actually have a direction. It's your hips and ankles that help determine where your knees go. So we want to make sure that we have strong ankles, strong feet, strong hips. And then last one right here, we'll march that out. And then we're going to grab some weights. Again, if you have shoulder issues, and you know you do, you're going to go no weights. You're going to tuck your shoulder blades, tight abs, hips, knees, toes. Nice face forward, tight pelvic floor, tight abs, shoulders back, straight arms. You can go straight to the side with the palms facing forward and coming down. Tuck shoulder blades, face it up and then down. You're just working on holding the shoulder blades down, and you're working on relaxing the neck and shoulders. Everyone's neck wants to trigger on this one. You have to push all the weight to your back where your shoulder blades are, and even right in between. You want to have your shoulder blades becoming the foundation of your arm movements. So even if you have one that arm that's not working right, use your other arm, because the other side gets a 15% benefit. We don't want to lose momentum here. Good job. There we go. Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come on down and roll that back. Oh, I can tell you right now, my arm is so tired from holding a baby. Sorry, I'm humble bragging at this point. Okay, so we're gonna do inner thigh toe taps. If you need a chair for assistance, we're going to tap our toe. Actually, I think all of you can do without holding on. So let's go ahead. We're gonna have our arms out like penguins, tuck our shoulder blades. We're gonna hit the inside of our ankle, hit the inside. Technically, you're not gonna hit the ankle. Chances are you won't reach it, but that's okay. The idea is we're rotating the hip, pulling up the leg, and with your arm staying still, your body knows what the goal is. Versus if I were to bend down and reach to it, the goal becomes too easy and the leg gets lower and lower, and I bend more and more, and then I don't get stronger on this inner thigh that we're after. We want good inner thighs. We're kicking forward, kicking forward. There you go. Like we're doing, I think, hacky sack, right? Like we're doing a hacky sack here. Or river dancing, that's what I like to think. But I've been watching my edits. I'm like, yeah, you're not near river dancing. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okie doke. We're gonna do shin toe taps. Push, shift your weight to your left foot. Right foot comes forward. Gonna tap your toe. And then you're keeping your abs nice and tight. And then we're gonna hold the hip nice and still. We're gonna lift the toe, turn it out, tap it down, lift the toe, turn it in, tap it down. Lift the toe up and down, going up and down. And so what we're doing is we're just training our torso to stay still and let the thigh bone move inside the hip socket. This is good because it forces all the tendons, the ligaments, the muscles to get strong and stay strong. You have 3, 2, 1, and bring the feet together, shifting the weight over, putting the left foot out, hips, knees, toes forward, tap the toe, and just really feel the shin trying to pull the foot up. And then tighten the abs, and now we're gonna lift, turn the toe out, tap it down, lift, turn the toe forward, tap it down. And really holding the hip nice and forward, getting that hip socket. So what happens is, as we get tighter, because we sit a lot, or we don't move as much, we don't walk as much, we tend to want to turn our torso with our thigh, and then the thigh doesn't actually do its job, and so then they get weaker and weaker, and more the minerals of the bone gets less and less. We have 3, 2, 1, and then bring it here, then march it down. So we have 3 muscles on our shoulders. We already did the front one. We did the side one. Now we have to do the rear one. This is the one that if you've been with me and you've been doing it on the band with the on the door, feel free to do 15 band rear delts. Otherwise, we're gonna sit on a chair halfway off. You sit halfway off the chair. You can have weights or no weights. It's up to what you know your body can do. The arm movement pattern is forward and back. Just very simple, keeping the wrist, the elbow, and the rotator cuff the same plane, line, right? It's the whole time. The only difference is I'm going to bend forward and do it from my shins and then pull my elbows out while keeping my neck down. And I just keep it out. I don't come up and then bend my elbows towards my hips. I bring the elbows straight out in line with my rotator cuff, my elbow, and my wrist. So the goal is we're gonna bend you forward, palms face the chair, tuck shoulders. Your arms are lined up with the shins, and then they stay in alignment with the shins all the way out, all the way down, back to parallel to the shins, keeping your shoulders tucked, keeping your neck disengaged so that it's not all shrugged up there, and just keep working on pulling those elbows out. Basically think, hold on, excuse me. Basically think if you were watching yourself from the side, you would see your arm and your elbows and your shins all in the same line. If your face was forward, looking straight forward, you would still see your arms. I have 3 more to go. 2 more. I guess this was number 2. Got 1 more right here. And then I'm going to come on down, tight abs, and come on up and roll those shoulders. Hopefully you can feel on the here and not on your neck. It's very easy to slowly rise the neck up. I don't know why bending forward, we all can do this, but as soon as we bend forward, it all falls apart. I do technically know why, because it's a whole different process against gravity, but it's just so crazy that our brain really struggles with it. So something you can practice on. Never do it to where you feel your neck all tight again, though. Always pull out before them. Okay, we are going to move to squats. So we have 2 levels of squats, and since you're at home, you could have 3. 1 if you need to hold on to something. None of you do. So we're gonna come halfway off the chair, if feet together. Level 1 would be no weights. You're gonna go up and down. Level 2 would be grabbing weights, putting them on your chest, and we're gonna push up and down. Okay. So feet are shoulder width apart, your hips, knees, toes all aligned, hips, knees, toes nice and aligned. I have my weights at my chest. I tuck my shoulders back, tighten my abs, push through the heel, squeeze my butt, and then I set myself down back onto the chair. Tight abs, tight butt, push through the heels, tight abs on the way down. I hold my abs real tight so I can set myself down, protecting my back, squeeze my butt, come set myself back down, tight abs, tight butt, push through the heels, really squeeze at that top. I want you to feel that final little pelvic floor squeeze at the top. Tight abs, tight butt, push through the heels, squeeze the butt. Come on down. Tight abs, tight butt, squeeze. Come on down. Tight abs, tight butt, squeeze the butt. Come on down, 2 more to go, we got this. Squeeze. And 1 last one, push through the heels and squeeze that butt. Excellent job, you can walk that out. If you would like, we're gonna do military presses. This is where our arms are overhead. You can go no weights if you know you have shoulders and you just gotta practice on your shoulder blades. So you'd be holding an invisible ball at your collarbone, tucking shoulders, raising up your arms, keeping the shoulders down and back to the chest. If you have weights and you know you've been doing this for a while, you're gonna have weights, tucking shoulders at your collarbone and then pushing straight up. So we're gonna go right now. Arms up, tucking those blades, and really just think about your pelvic floor nice and engaged, your abdominals nice and engaged, and your shoulders. They push down as you go up, and they push down as you come down. It seems like they're always being pushed down, and that would be correct. You have a big plate on your back, the shoulder blade, for a reason. It's your foundation of all your arm movements, and we have to learn how to hold those shoulder blades in place so that we're not triggering our neck and so that we're not grinding on that front rotator cuff so that it ends up coming back on us later on. So shoulder blades, even if you can barely go up to your thighs, push that shoulder blade, lock the blade and get as high as you can go with the blade engaged. Just focus on the shoulder blade. You have 3, 2, 1, come on down, roll those shoulders back. Roll those shoulders back. We're gonna do bent over donkey kicks now. So if you have a band, you are welcome to grab a band at this point. And you would put it around your foot and hold the band at the chair and kick straight back. If you do not have a band, so some of you do this with a band, others don't. So I'm modifying for both groups here. You do not have a band. You're just gonna bend over on the chair, tuck the shoulder blades, soften the elbows, bring the right foot up, and then kick straight back and bring the knees together. Kick straight back and bring the knees together. Okay, so you're bending over, tucking shoulders, nice tight shoulder blades, tight abs. So I'm checking everyone's form right now. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switching sides. So you're just gonna grab the band, put it on your other foot. So you grab the band, you'll put it on your foot, and then you put both, hold each side of the band with one hand each, and then you're gonna hold with the holding the bands, you're gonna hold the chair, and then bring up the heel and kick straight back. Again, don't worry about the band if it's too complicated. Dump the band. just do the donkey kick, tucking shoulders and kicking straight back. I want your shoulder blades pulled away from your neck, shoulder blades pulled into the spinal cord, hips nice square to the floor. Five, four, three, two, one, and come on up. Nice tight abs, tight butt. And then you have this nice handy dandy chair that we're working with. We're going to have our hips, knees, toes facing it. If you need to hold on to something else, grab another chair, or you can turn the chair sideways and hold on to the chair. We're going to tap the toe on top of the chair, switch legs, tap and tap. So tight abs and your tall chest, and we're just tapping and tapping, tapping and tapping. It's as easy and as simple as that, or complicated too, because we're working those hip flexors again we talked about earlier. We're just practicing how to get that hip flexor to be able to reach something tall for it, at, like a chair. Because eventually, right, you want to be able to get to that chair and then like step up onto the chair. I mean, not the chair you may have right now, but say like something that high, you want to be able to do it. The first step is you got to be able to bring that leg straight up there. And this is really for getting your feet over in the bathtub, climbing up into a big 4x4 monster truck, because I know you all go to those monster rallies. So just things like that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we have that. We still get to use the chair. We're going to work on the bent over row. So you may or may not need a weight. You who work with me know what you need. We're going to have you, there's two types. One is both feet stay on the floor and the hand puts on the chair, on the edge of the chair. And then you have your arms parallel, tuck your shoulders down, nose towards the floor, tight abs. You're gonna roll up the elbow until your arm meets your rib cage and the weight comes to your thigh. The weight does not come to your chest, it comes to your thigh. Then we're going to kick our arms straight back, and then we're going to bring it back to the thigh again, and then straight down parallel to the arms. Tuck shoulders, roll it up to the thigh, kick it straight back, kick to the back to the thigh, and then straight down again. Please don't swing your arms. Be nice and purposeful, and then make sure the weight always comes back to your thigh, not to your chest. So we're just going to bend over. It's called row it up, kick it back, bring it down to the thigh and down towards the floor. Tuck your shoulders, roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor. Roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor. Roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor. Tuck shoulders, roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor. Roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor. Tuck shoulders, roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor. Tuck shoulders, roll it back, kick back, down to the thigh, down to the floor. Last one, roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor. Nice tight abs, tight butt. Stand on up, and we're going to walk around to the chair. And if the bending over is too uncomfortable with both feet, you can always put one knee and one arm on the chair. Either one works just fine. We're going to tuck shoulder blades and then roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor. Roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor. Roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor. Roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor. Roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor, roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor, roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor, roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor. Last one, roll it up, kick it back, down to the thigh, down to the floor, and tight abs, tight butt, stand on up. So we got, when we did the row, that's working your lats, this muscle on the side here, that's in charge of a lot of our major pulling. We can be so strong with the row that most females can do an average of about 20-25 pounds of rowing it up. And then once you want to like make it harder and harder, you can get like up to even 45 pounds. So I mean, this is a muscle that really can move, where most females tend to max out around 8 pounds doing a sidearm raise. But I'm just saying, like, not bodybuilders, right? We're not talking bodybuilders, we're just talking fitness. And then we did triceps. Kicking it back was your triceps. So we got a 2 for 1. You're welcome. Okay, we're gonna go ahead, and how are we doing on time here? Okay, so we just have enough time. Let's go ahead and do front and back legs. That way we're gonna get some hip movement patterns here. Okay, so we're going to have our hips, knees, toes forward, shifting our weight, and then we're going to tap forward, tap to the side, tap behind. This leg is soft, don't lock that knee. And this hip thigh is pointed forward the whole time. So when people do dance, where everyone's used to turning their toe out, and that's because they're getting ready to train the body to step into like a little dance move. We're training it forward because there's a muscle that's deep inside the hip that's very close to that side step one, which actually is the side step one. We're trying to get that one to work. And so we're getting it working. This is when this would model and be realistic is if we were in the middle of a trip and you're like, whoa, right? This would help us to know how to use our hips, because there's a real danger in having your whole torso follow you when you're moving. You really want everything in your hips moving. And so when you trip, it's just your legs tripping, not your whole torso and the momentum that comes with it. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. March it out. March it out. And we're going to shift to the other side, hips, knees, toes forward. And we're going to step sideways, forward, sideways, back. Really holding that hip nice and forward. Again, feel free to hold on to a chair if you need to. It's no problem with that. What we're trying to do is find the stability on this leg and the mobility in this hip socket while trying to keep it facing forward and our hips facing forward. That means this butt and this ab has to be tight to hold that pelvic bone forward while this one is moving around. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and march it out, march it out. Boy, 30 minutes sure goes by fast. Okay, that concludes our standing portion. If you'd like to join us onto the floor, now is the time. Otherwise, you will find it on the YouTube video in another space. And if I were clever, I would know how to link it, but I don't.